Welcome back to an episode. We are again on the Normandy, somewhere in the war room, and we're going to check up on what we actually unlocked so far, and have a little other look around on the ship, and then we're going to check up a little bit at least on the Citadel, not doing the... well, we are definitely not going in the apartment of Anderson, at least not for now. We're going to do Horizon next, but yeah, let's just see what we got. If we didn't get anything. Okay, that's actually an interesting surprise. Alright, is there anyone around here? No. Nothing seemed to... oh, wait, no. There was one on the comms. That was Admiral Hackett? Again? Or was it Anderson? Who was it? Oh, Anderson.
Shepard, I heard about Thessia.
We were so close, Anderson. So damn close to ending this war.
You didn't think it'd be that easy, did you?
Well, I mean, sometimes it can.
I knew going in there wouldn't be a minute of this war that was easy. But watching Thessia fall, and knowing it was my responsibility.
Shepard, you know how many times I got my ass handed to me over the years? Surviving the first contact war back in the day was a goddamn miracle. They said I was a hero. I just felt lucky to get out alive. So maybe Kai Lang did beat you. What of it?
It could cost us the war.
These guys in the Resistance, they know it's a losing proposition. They know the chances of seeing tomorrow are slim to none. But we all signed up anyway. Hell, I'm sitting in London right now staring at rubble. I was born here. And it's looking like I might die here too. So I say point us at the Reapers and we'll take our chances.
Well, sounds like a good chance, but we still need that beacon info.
You'll make it, Anderson. When this is all over, you can show me London.
It might need a new coat of paint first.
This will be over soon.
It better. Shake this off, Shepard.
I will.
Anderson out.
Shake it off, yeah. Okay, so this is where she got her lyrics from. Okay. Let's play a little bit of Mass Effect and turn every little bit of Anderson into a song.
Not after we took down that Reaper on Ren. I don't know. Yeah, but there's no way we could have stopped every Reaper on Thessia. The Asari should have jumped in earlier.
Well, the Asari could have done an awful lot of other things. Everyone could have done an awful lot of other things, but... yeah, Reapers are still there. It's an awful lot of them.
Commander,
Oh.
Cerberus has attacked a comm facility on Ontarom. I've updated the galaxy map.
Okay, look at this, another side mission.
Thanks for listening, Commander.
Yeah.
It was a good idea. And right now, it's the best lead we've got.
In any event, good luck.
What kind of listening?
Commander?
What did we listen on to? Evacuation of Thessia. From Asari Military Command. Good. You opened this message. This isn't actually Asari Military Command. They're busy tending to what's left of that planet. So you survived our fight on Thessia. You're not as weak as I thought, but never forget that your best wasn't good enough to stop me. Now an entire planet is dying because you lack the strength to win. The length of Shepard needs to be... The legend of Shepard needs to be rewritten. I hope I'm there for the last chapter. It ends with your death. KL. K. Lang. Kai. Lang. Yeah. Important. From Miranda Lawson. Shepard, I have something important to tell you. I need to do this in person. Can you meet me in the Commons? I'll send an F point. No vids this time. I promise, Miranda. Okay, so this is one of the pointers that tells us get to the Normandy, do some Normandy, get to the Citadel and do some side missions. Because yeah, sometimes you can do that, and sometimes the interaction just skips. So
if we don't finish that crucible soon, there won't be a galaxy left to save. So Thessia, huh? I guess the Asari are wishing they had fewer dancers and more commandos right about now. Too soon?
Maybe.
In case you hadn't noticed, we just lost a few million people.
Why are we angry?
This isn't the time.
You see this? Tiptree. Little colony out in the ass end of nowhere. My dad lives there. So does my sister. Reapers rolled in about 2 weeks ago. So you can assume that I'm generally aware there's a war on, Commander.
So why the jokes?
Because EDI says that according to your armor's metabolic scans, you're under more stress now than during the Skillian Blitz. Like, more than Torfan, where you put your whole damn squad through a meat grinder. And the last time I had a briefing with Anderson, he told me to take care of you. The guy leading the resistance on Earth is worried about you. And I'm supposed to help.
Alright. Thank you. And I'm also kind of surprised that Shepard was so angry right now. Like, come on.
I appreciate the thought, Joker. But I'm fine.
The hell you are. You're like half robot at this point. No offense, EDI. And it's my fault. When the Collectors blew up the first Normandy, you died because I wouldn't leave. Because you had to come back for me.
Couldn't leave the best pilot in the fleet behind, could I?
Yeah, well, I guess that would have looked bad on your report.
Come on. We've got work to do.
There we go.
Commander?
Shepard, I have a question about human behavior.
This isn't the best time, EDI.
Actually, it's the best time.
Humor? A penguin is driving through the Arizona desert.
I'm not in the mood.
A lively rendition of La Marseillaise?
No.
Very well. I will maintain a respectful silence until you indicate otherwise.
Interesting. Why are we all of a sudden so pissed off? That's weird.
Hello, Shepard.
That's really strange. All of the other time, everything was fine. Like, an awful lot of people died there too, right? And now, it seems to be different. Just because, oh my god, there are Reapers and Asari worlds. Da, 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 da. As if anything has changed. We are still pretty much screwed.
Dr. Chakwas sent word that she'd like to speak with you down in the medbay.
Yeah, probably some psycho stuff.
Commander?
Unbloody believable. Anyway, like Earth was getting attacked. Yeah, then someone definitely needs to calm down Shepard right now. The thing is, the option that I took kind of felt extremely angry, and I don't know why. Usually the top option is the more relaxed and somewhat peaceful option, but not this time. Maybe they mixed it up or something.
Everything okay, Shepard? Everything is in order.
Yeah, wonderful.
Everything is in order.
Wunderbar, wunderbar. Alright, let's go on.
Hey, for what it's worth, I know how it feels to lose like that. I know that doesn't make it easier, but you're just human like the rest of us.
If you're trying to make me feel better, it's not working, Lieutenant.
Hey, everyone on this ship knows you did all you could. You need to cut yourself some slack. Whatever it takes to get that data back from Cerberus. We're behind you. Whatever it takes to end this.
Noted.
Wow.
Sure would have liked to visit Thessia before the war. Imagine a whole world of those blue beauties. One of the wonders of the galaxy, if you ask me.
Well, any nightclub would do.
You want to hit Cerberus where it hurts? I'm with you. Ready when you are.
Maybe in this case, going for an option somewhere. The thing is, the top option not only is the good guy option, but it's also the, let's say, more orderly and correct feeling-ish option. And, wait a minute, are the scars coming back? No. Orderly and more correct feeling option. What I mean by this is that the... Oh no, wait a minute. There are a few guns that I can upgrade. And we also got... not the Javelin. The Widow! There you go. Extremely heavy. There's tons of damage. Usually a GEF weapon. Several research firms spent a considerable fortune trying to redesign the Widow sniper rifle. Their goal was to retain the GEF weapon's considerable firepower while reducing its recoil, so that the gun could be fired without breaking a non-synthetics arm. After much trial and error, one company finally produced a usable model rolled out to the galactic market. Wonderful. So this thing has a lot of... Why does this thing have an awful lot of recoil? They have Mass Effect fields. Usually that stuff should take care of itself. Only... Yeah, it has a very low capacity, very low fire rate, usually. Which means you use your thermal clipsec, this is usually capacity, in order to soak up extreme amounts of heat. Heat going backwards, or like pushing the thing backwards and breaking your arms, would then be converted into, like energy going backwards and breaking your arms, would be converted into heat going into that thermal clip, therefore getting injected. Yeah, let's just inject yourself some thermal clip stuff. And yeah, once it gets injected, then the energy can be yeah, it's then taken care of. So what about this one? Improves weapon design, ammo capacity. Disciple. Was it the disciple or was it something else? Was it the scorpion? Yeah, it was the scorpion. So this one needs to get an upgrade. And then there was the Hornet? Yeah, I think it was this one. Scorpion and Hornet. So we are going for insect kind of creatures. Scorpion is not really... No, a scorpion is not really an insect. A crab, arachnid-ish kind of thingamajig. Because of the amount of legs that it has.
Have you found your story on Thessia yet?
No. I'm trying to word it right.
What happens if you word it wrong?
If I'm lucky, the Citadel Stock Exchange drops 2,000 extra points.
And if you're unlucky?
I don't know. Never really been unlucky.
Mm-hmm. Interesting point there. Yeah. How do you turn it around? Like, yeah, we just lost the most... Look at this. Stock. No. What is this? It's going from left to right, though. Strange.
Commander.
Yeah, wait a minute. Let's, I mean, it could just be electrical noise or whatnot, but if you look at this through this chromatic aberration effect, it kind of looks like stocks. But it's weird seeing that flow not from right to left, but from left to right. That's really strange. Usually it goes the other way around. Maybe if you were to depict it in a completely different way, certain patterns might be more obvious. Like, if it goes up if the price goes up, it goes down if the price goes down, right? And it goes like from left to right or from right to left, whatnot, in a constant rate. But let's say you were to orient this a little different, right? Let's say you would make it jump every time, right? So that it goes in a circular kind of fashion. And there is a certain diagram that works like that. It goes in a circle, like instead of going from left to right in a constant way, it goes in a circle, so it repeats itself or it overlaps itself, and the same time is always happen, or like the same angle is always at the same time. So let's say you would do this with temperature over the course of a year, you would have a round graph, and the months are always at the same location. And you would have an overlap of different temperatures over different years, therefore seeing like a certain change happening. That would be like a spirally kind of thing. And if you play this for a very long time, you can actually see certain changes, because you could compare this instantly. That's a very interesting way of doing that. Maybe you could also do that like from left to right also. But if you do this like in a spirally kind of pattern, all of a sudden you just comprehend it differently. But yeah, you could do this like upside down, left to right. You could split it up. You could color it different. There are an awful lot of different ways to depict this. But for certain different...
Those were all lies back there.
Oh.
They were not.
My people weren't animals for your kind to experiment on.
You wanted to know more about your history, Asari. Now you do.
I have a name. It's Liara to Sony, and I'd have...
Hey, settle down.
My home was just destroyed, and all he can do is gloat.
Yeah. Why are we angry about Javik right now? He's a Prothean of his time, behaving like a Prothean of his time. That's absolutely normal. And the reason why Liara is angry is also understandable. So yeah, apologize, Javik. Actually, he shouldn't apologize. I don't know why he should apologize. And also the whole, oh, don't doctor on my race or something like that. Makes no sense. Javik was just being honest. He was.
Liara, you may not like the truth, but you can't blame him for it.
Besides, there's nothing to be done about it now.
You're Prothean. You're supposed to have all the answers. You should have stopped this.
We believed you would. Long ago, we saw the potential in your people. Even then, it was obvious. The wisdom, the patience. You were the best hope for this cycle. So you were guided when necessary.
Well, it didn't work.
You're still alive, aren't you? Your world may have fallen, but as long as even one Asari is left standing, the fight isn't over.
I guess that goes for Protheans, too.
Despair is the enemy's greatest weapon. Do not let them wield it. Liara to Suni.
Huh. Thanks.
That was unexpected. Thank you.
We still need her talents. If grief overcomes her, she will be lost to us.
So did you actually mean what you said?
Does it matter?
Liara's been a good friend to me. It matters.
Then I will tell you what you want to hear. I meant what I said.
Carry on.
Machiavellian much, but in this case you know exactly what he wants because he acts in the way that lets him achieve his goals. So in this case he is at least true in with his actions. Not really with his goals, but the actions are.
It was good to see another of my kind, even if he was just a ghost. One more Prothean fights the Reapers. If there is to be victory in this war, it will be for all cycles. The living will avenge the dead. And do not concern yourself with Thessia's fate, Commander. The loss of a planet is insignificant next to the loss of the galaxy.
It's not about the thing that it is insignificant or not, or that it's normal that stuff dies. It's just that unnecessary emotion doesn't help. That's the thing.
I suffered many defeats in the last war, Commander. Let this loss be the fuel that powers your rage.
And in this case, we have to point that rage towards the enemy and not towards the crewmate.
Many are asking what I eat. They will never know. It is harder to be poisoned that way. Is it true you keep fish in your cabin, Commander?
Yes, and I hope I actually installed that AI that feeds them.
I am with my own thoughts.
Because if you don't have that fish AI, or if you haven't talked to anyone else that takes care of the fish, like Kelly Chambers, the fish actually die. You have to buy them again. I don't know if you can do that though, but
I am with my own thoughts.
That's definitely something to keep in mind. So I mean, the Asari are understandably angry because...
Oh, hello, Commander.
We were just double checking the thermal ducts.
I'm sure you were. Carry on.
Nice! Oh, look at that!
Shepard.
They're it.
Commander? Commander?
Shepard.
Yes.
Do you think Shepard noticed?
I'm sure he did.
I'm so embarrassed.
No, I can hear you, you know.
Shepard.
Ah, come on, just trigger the interaction. I don't think it happens a second time or so. Aww.
Nothing to report, Commander.
At least some of them are somewhat true to themselves until the end. Kind of angry about myself that I didn't break it off with Jack.
She went straight to her cabin. She's not answering her comm.
How bad?
I've never seen Liara like this.
Uh-oh.
Not even after Noveria.
Damn.
Can you talk to her? You've known her as long as any of us. And with Palavan.
I'm just another damn reminder of how many people are dying. You should talk to her.
I just regained my homeworld. She just lost hers.
Well, I don't have any magic words. She needs time. Maybe call her later.
She went straight to her cabin. She's not answering her comm.
How bad?
I'll go talk to Liara.
Thanks, Shepard. Thanks, Shepard.
Alright. Nothing happening here. The thing is, I could just load up previous save game or something, but it would be so far the past. And on another way, the thing is, I'm still kind of split because Jack has a certain character set that rings through, resonates, right? And Liara does too. Everyone in them has a certain spark that makes them likable in their own way. So let's see.
I'm sorry, Shepard. You all right?
I'm fine.
Liara?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll talk to her.
Hmm?
Thanks. This isn't something she should deal with by herself.
Same goes for you.
Sure.
I guess we know what Liara's going through. Just thinking about Earth, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What a waste.
What do you mean?
Shepard? Shepard?
Okay. So, let's see. Oh, yeah, Chakwas and the whole...
Shepard, remember our agreement? We'd open a bottle of cerise-sized brandy every year, and it's my turn to buy.
But it hasn't been a year yet.
Yes, well, something tells me we won't have the chance a few months from now, so... indulge my impatience.
Okay, well, save it for our victory. We could, but why not just drink one now and one later?
You grab the glasses. I'll open the bottle.
And Jeff says, Jacqueline Subject Zero is sorry, but it's ma'am to me. I'd like to keep my Admiral Winky. Oh, Shepard, you know, I just realized. You've never called me by my first name.
Well, neither of you.
And I never will. You are Commander Shepard, hero of the Citadel, conqueror of the Collectors, savior of the galaxy. Using your first name just disrespects everyone you're fighting for, alive or gone.
That makes no sense.
Consider it a lady's prerogative, then. Come, let's have a toast.
To you, Doctor.
To a woman I respect and admire. I'm lucky to have you with me, Doctor.
And to you. It's my great honor to share this journey with you, Commander. And good fortune to us all. I've learned my lesson this time. Even a Krogan couldn't match you drink for drink. Commander? Commander?
I mean, we could just call her Karen, right? But in this case, it's kind of funny because Dr. Chakwas, and the first name is Karen, right? Because she's caring for everyone. Ha! So that's a good one.
Any word from your family?
They made it off Palavan. It was tight, but they're okay.
We'll take every scrap of good news we can get.
Wish I had more, though.
Why?
I just had to make a tough call with the Primarch. He said our fleets are being decimated, so I advised him to cease all offensive operations against the Reapers.
A full retreat?
The only way to save Palavan now is to hold our ships back for the Crucible. But if I'm wrong, then a lot of other Turian families won't be as lucky as mine.
There's no other way. It was the right choice. Is there any other way?
That's a hell of a gamble. No other options?
If there are, I can't see them. It all comes down to the Crucible now.
And ruthless calculus.
How are you holding up, Shepard? This all has to be taking a toll.
I can handle it. Actually, we can handle it, but it does take a toll.
There's only so much fight in a person. Only so much death you can take before
your friend picks you up, dusts you off, and tells you you're the best damn soldier he's ever met. We'll get through this. We always do. Not something you can ever get used to. Seeing a world go down like that. Thousands of years of civilization on fire. But it wasn't your fault. Thessia was already gone by the time we got there. And maybe the elusive man did win one, but so what? I've lost a few fights in my time, and I'm still here. It's because I always made sure. A battle doesn't make a war, Shepard. We're still in this.
I didn't skip this one, no. That was weird.
Have you checked on Liara? She must be devastated. That's not something you ever forget. Shepard, this is when you take all your anger and frustration, bottle it up, then use it to rearrange every molecule in Kailing's body. You'll get your chance. Another time, maybe.
Well, it's not about hatred, actually. We defeat him as a respectable enemy. This is what we do. And in this case, you could say that, let's say we wouldn't arrive, or wouldn't have arrived on Thessia at the right time. Cerberus would have been there, they would have gotten it, and they would have, in some strange way, secured that Prothean beacon for us. And now, only thing we need to do is get it from Cerberus. So, in a strange way, they helped us out.
I've studied Protheans my entire life. If I'd been shown the beacon on Thessia earlier...
You would have needed Shepard's cipher to comprehend it.
I still could have learned from it. Instead, my mother hid the galaxy's most important archaeological find from me. It must have been such a joke to her when I became a Prothean researcher.
The penalties for withholding Prothean technology are among the harshest in Council space. Your mother's motives may have been simply to shield you.
Perhaps. Thank you, EDI. I hadn't considered that.
Well, it's not just about her, right? It's personal stuff. Yeah, you can give the information to her and she would maybe write a dissertation about it or whatever. She would publish the information in a way. But it is more than that, right? It's the belief that guided the whole Asari civilization for a very long time. If you break this up, even if it's an elaborate lie, right? Then you basically destroy a huge fundamental fact of the Asari society. And that could, well, after a certain amount of time would probably be okay, but until then, actually, yeah, the problem is because they hid the information. It wouldn't be a problem until now. Yeah. What would you do? What would you do? What would you do? It's a problem because they lied previously about it. Now it all comes to light, and the people are used to the whole religious kind of view of it. Now there's conflict. Or conflict could be introduced. What would you do? What would you do? What would you do? And this just accepting it would be the best thing. Alright, anyway, possible book titles. Oh, look at this. Possible book titles, Glyph. Please flag this as a list of possible book titles. When this is all over, I like to publish what we've learned about the Protheans. The Protheans, a living legacy. Prothean Empire, the Protheans, the last Prothean. Living history of the Protheans. I despise thinking up titles for my academic research. Prothean Journeys. Journeys with the Prothean. Dude. Let's go for interview with a Prothean. Or something like that. Prothean Notes 2186, entry number 4. I can't let disappointment stop me from learning the Protheans' history. It's just as naive as thinking they were all benevolent, and I've perhaps been arrogant, judging an entire species on what little time I've had to know its sole survivor. He was hardly responsible for the skewed view I had of his people. I put forward the idea of writing a book with Javik. To my surprise, he said he would think about it. Perhaps it's a start. Well, he would think about it. It doesn't say that he says yes about it, but anyway. He's the only Prothean, so no matter what, at one point he will be dead, and whatever's written in that book will have no effect on him. So, what's that?
How did this happen, Shepard? My entire civilization. The Asari's history. The Protheans made it a lie all along, and I abandoned my people to hunt for the catalyst.
You'd never do that.
They're dying by the millions. I told those people on Thessia we'd save them. How many Asari died because I demanded their help?
None.
Shepard, that isn't true.
You've been warning your people for 4 years, Liara. There's not a damn thing you should feel guilty about. If we move fast enough, they'll have a chance to survive this, to start again. We lost Thessia, but we haven't lost the Asari yet.
Helping the refugees. That's something I can do. It's something I owe them.
I knew you'd think of something.
I still need some time, Shepard. But thank you.
Strange way of thinking about it. Oh, look at this. We got stasis. One of the... I don't know. We could frost enemies. I don't know how stasis actually works. But the way she actually saw the history of the Asari and the Protheans, she actually labeled it a little differently. It's not that the Protheans lied. The Protheans never lied. The Asari lied. To themselves. That's the thing that happened. What kind of statues was around that beacon? An Asari statue. I don't know if the Protheans actually hid this stuff willingly or not. But with all of those like murals and like other depictions, it's fairly obvious that there was Protheans there. So finding that obelisk was just a matter of seconds if you wanted to actually look for it. So in this case, it's just for the Asari to have a better view and better past for themselves. Like, think about it. As your backstory, you were genetically engineered and helped out by a different species, right? Does that give you an impression that you are a, well, self-governing individual or something? Or like society that is able to do that? Or does it give the impression that you are more like a slave race to them? It's definitely not a good story to tell your people. It doesn't feel as inspiring. But this one is, the whole goddess kind of thing. And this is what I say about a good lie, right? This is something that inspires the people, it brings them forward, it helps them out. Even if it's lie, even if it's incorrect, right? Even if it may lead to problems later on. But for the time being, it's a good thing.
I need some time, Shepard. What will happen to the Asari now? The Council should have evacuated Thessia earlier.
Dr. Tassoni found useful information
Oh yeah,
in the
wait.
data
Nah, we didn't get any
you
news.
recovered, Commander.
It's also like saying, do I look fat in this dress? There's never a good answer to it. Then you are looking for options, but everything is hidden or like locked behind a stat check, and your luck always runs out.
Hopefully she's doing better now.
Thanks for talking to her. Neither of us knew what to say.
There's not much we can say, but being there helps.
Thanks, Shepard.
So, can we get another few points of reputation? Let's see.
Not right now.
Okay, so we started that little interaction with Tali, kind of, out of the elevator. I think you can only get a little bit of reputation the first time around.
No crew health issues to report.
Other than Joker.
No crew health issues to report.
And his brittlebone disease. What's it called again? Like, brittlebone disease is the descriptive name for it, meaning that it describes what's happened to it. Or like in a very, very good kind of view. So, wait, can we get someone in the cavern over here? Not really. Everything seems to be working flawlessly. Sweet. What's that disease that Joker had? It's, not brittlebone disease. Another name for it. More scientific. It's not really... I don't think it's more scientific, actually. But it involved the discoverer of that disease, I believe. It's also an interesting way, like, getting a disease named after you. Like, is this, like... is this an honor, or what is this supposed to be? Righty. Let's see what we can do around here. Thessia is not landable anymore. And any fuel stuff? No. Yeah, the Reapers are here, but the fuel depot is still active. That's actually kind of nice. Overall Reapers. Okay, let's see. Anderson with a visit is still there. And a spacing over there. 100. Was it Nebula? Kite's Nest. Investigate Sanctuary. This is the... that could be the Horizon thing. And then something else is blinking here. Let's see. This thing. The communications hub on the Kepler Verge. That's what we need. Oh. Hourglass Nebula. Without a percentage. Okay. That's weird. Why? Was it always like that? I thought Hourglass was special. But I don't know why. Holokun. Aganju. Nah, I don't think I actually read up on this stuff. Okay, Holokun, Sky Harvest, is a standard gas giant composed of hydrogen and helium. The spacefarers from Erinli gather helium-free from here rather than Orun Mila, as its atmosphere is much more predictable. And Erinli. I've read through them, I believe, but not in Mass Effect 3. Anyway, Erinli is a garden world in its last stages of habitability. While its soil still supports agriculture, its animal biodiversity has fallen to record lows, and the most successful remaining life is toxic blue-green algae and insect-like pest species. A large Solarian colony is trying to restore biodiversity to the planet, but setbacks are a fact of life. Mineral and fuel mining remains lucrative, however, and Erinli has a thriving spaceport that refuels many ships passing into the Terminus systems. And Arganju. Oh, that's an interesting one. I always like the green shapes. Arganju is an extremely large rock planet with a thin atmosphere of hydrogen and carbon monoxide. Abundant in both copper and platinum, the crust has been scanned by mining bots from Erinli, but the specialized equipment to work in Arganju's heavy gravity, more than 5 Gs, has created prohibitive costs, and so Arganju is largely unexploited. There is a hidden base right there. And Orun Mila. A medium-sized gas giant, Mila is close enough to its parent star to suffer massive changes in temperature during its day and night periods. This leads to powerful convection currents and storms throughout its hydrogen-helium atmosphere. Gathering helium-3 to refuel is impossible for the hardiest of exploration craft, but lesser ships are nearly always lost in the attempt. Mila is within the frost line of its solar system, where ice-cored gas giants do not usually form. For this reason, it is believed to be an extrasolar planet captured by its star's gravity.
I found something.
And we scan stuff. Oh, the Reapers are coming fast. So, do we get war assets from this one? Or do we get some quest-related stuff? Or maybe just credits? Yeah, the lazy kind of reward. But yeah, nah, let's just not call it lazy, but... So, where do we... Oh. Okay, how do I go around? I could go to Ploitari, and this way around. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. We're going for the one that's furthest, away there. And they're gone. Vegan rounds out the trio of planets only scouted by space probe in this backwater solar system. A frozen ball with significant amounts of tin in its crust. Vegan has a fractional atmosphere with trace amounts of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. Strange radiation emissions have been charted coming off Vegan, but it is unknown if these are from radioactive elements or merely a star's radiation reflected by a high albedo surface. That's interesting. So the star gets mirrored on the surface and then throws back. But does it work like 1-to-1 with a high albedo stuff, or does it usually get converted into different frequencies? So... And Hagalaz. Only known from scan data picked up by space probes. Hagalaz is currently classified as a dwarf planet, a warm, barren rock. Its thin atmosphere is composed of carbon dioxide and oxygen. Significant alumina deposits in its crust make its density and gravity very low indeed. Isn't there something else there? No. Zanethu. Believed to be a post-garden world, Zanethu has large deposits of calcium carbonate in its sedimentary rocks, indicating it may have once had plate tectonics and even plant life. Its swirling clouds of dust and snow may have occurred more recently and blocked the sun, creating a mass extinction event. Its surface gravity is comfortable and its temperature tolerable by most sapient species. Just because you're sapient doesn't mean that you can tolerate temperatures. Anyway. Sinalos. Space probes indicate that Sinalos is nowhere near as hospitable as its neighbor Zanethu. Sinalos' hydrogen-argon atmosphere is thought to be anathema to life, but the presence of borax on the surface spawned by a boron-heavy core indicates the planet may once have had water. Yeah, but just because there's water doesn't mean that it's gonna be a good planet. It just means there's a substance there. A substance, because of the way it works, it's strange behavior, kind of supports unnatural behaving chemical reactions, and water is one of those. Together with the whole physical specialty that water has like a different density and whatnot. Also water has, when it comes to like thermal regulation, a very different way of behaving. It's like a warm blanket or something. So the more water a planet has, the more energy or heat energy can be stored up. So what do we got here? Thurisas. Thurisas, a hydrogen-helium gas giant, has a decrepit automated infrastructure for refueling merchant vessels with helium-free. Painted onto the metal in a Solarian dialect are the words self-serve. So, take as much as you can then. Interesting. Kenas. Kenas's extremely thin atmosphere is mostly methane and helium. The Solarian explorers who named the system set up a small mining presence for recovering nickel and chromium, used in making stainless steels. And Urus. A large rock planet with a pressure cooker atmosphere of nitrogen and argon. Urus's silicate-rich crust is relatively low density. It was largely ignored by the Solarian explorers who first charted the system. Hagalaz. Hagalaz is a second-tier guard world that receives little attention from the galactic community. The Solarian mining expedition initially discovered the planet, which was promptly strong-armed away from them by organized crime figures. Hagalaz's exploration rights were then sold to the highest bidder, which led to a brief burst of mining colonies in the 2000s. But most of those were abandoned when other planets were found with more accessible resources. Though Hagalaz has a nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere capable of supporting life, its rotational period is slower than Earth's, making its day and night 98 Earth days long. The intense heat on one side of the planet and the extreme cold on the other make the violent storm cells, wherever the sun is rising, a setting. As a result, the flora and fauna of Hagalaz have developed the capability to live in cycles of ice, flooding, baking heat, and dramatic air pressure changes. The biota of the planet has been largely unexploited by the exotic pet and gardening trades, since simulating their natural conditions is problematic for the average consumer. And Anzus. A large rock world, Anzus was once under development by a consortium of robo-mining interests, but an epidemic of accidents and sabotage cost the lives of hundreds of workers and eventually drove them off the world. Despite numerous accusations among the mining corporations and a dozen of more trials, popular opinion holds that the real saboteurs were never found. They just didn't want to go to that planet for some reason. Yeah, looks like we got all of them, didn't we? Wait, no, there is one other planet. There we go. Iera. A rock and ice planet. Iera has a thin atmosphere of methane and ethane. Its borax deposits, largely trapped beneath the ice, were never considered valuable enough to mine, since synthetic substitutes and alternative sources became widely available. So somewhere over here is probably a fuel station or so, huh? Somewhere over here. The question is just where. Like, the system is extremely large. I mean, you could just scan somewhere in empty space, far away from the planets, but this sounds, well, feels a little weird. Sometimes you can get a bit more lucky, and you get yourselves a station that is close to the there, close to the planets. So I could go with this.
I found something.
And we are right in between a scan and a station. The station was also scanned though, but... So how far? There. And the Shadow Broker support team. Yeah, look at that. Liara might be happy now. So, and we got ourselves fuel. Finally. That was actually a really good scan. So what you can do is figure out where the hidden station is. Sometimes there's none, but most of the times there is. And then you just try to get a little further away, but still try to stand in range of other planets. And maybe the other ones will also have something for you to scan. So you don't have to scan like a madman and lead the Reapers towards you. It's not something that you want. So, anyway, Antikthra, or Antikthra, depending on how you would split that. Antikthra, the fused metal, is so named because of its spectacular craters. A planet high in various grades of iron oxide, Antikthra is regularly pummeled by loose asteroids in the nearby belt. Between it and Wenrum, the iron melted and fused by the incoming meteors makes for spectacular landscapes, shots, and look alien no matter what part of the galaxy you may be from. However, due to frequent meteor impacts, exploration is considered highly dangerous, even to those with advanced kinetic barriers. Every time you finish a sentence, or like you try to read a sentence, but one word gets placed on a different line, you just kind of feel as if the whole thing doesn't work anymore. The whole word structure is then thrown overboard. Alright. Wait, what? And there's something right over there. Yeah, and Alingon. Alingon, deceptive, was so named by Solarian scouts because as their probes landed on the planet, their instruments started going awry. This turned out to be due to the high concentration of magnetically active periclase magnesia in the cores and crusts of the planet. This interferes with scans and broadcasts, which has given rise to countless space stories of pirates lying in wait in Alingon's magnetosphere or crashed ships with untold fortunes. Stranded on the surface in reality, any pirates would have a hard time locating prey amongst all the interference and would live lives cut off from the rest of the galaxy as the magnetosphere kills extraplanetary communication. Alingon's other natural features are a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide, spectacular dry ice formations, and xenon gases, which can be skimmed from the upper atmosphere and used in iron thrusters. Interesting. So, where do we go to next? Nephros. Nephros, the Restless Sleep, is a relatively small hydrogen-helium gas giant. No, nitrogen. Again, hydrogen-nitrogen gas giant. Its atmosphere is home to spectacular winds of up to 350 kilometers an hour and electrical storms up to 700 times the power of those on Earth, which indicates that its hydrogen clouds contain moderate amounts of water vapor. And there's this little one here, Wenrun. Wenrun, the White Knight, takes its name from a Solarian story in the romantic period of a knight who refused all temptation to riches, carnality, and even flavorful food, until justice was served to the poor and oppressed. The planet is so named because of its white, highly reflective surface, composed mainly of titanium dioxide and ice, and no atmosphere to speak of to dim its albedo. And Darata. Though ancient riverbeds crisscross the plains of Darata, photodissociation has long since dried up the world. There are indications of ancient mining operations, but any structures have long since been buried or worn away by the planet's seasonal dust storms. Quadem. A scorchingly hot planet close to its parent star, Quarem was bombarded by comets and asteroids during its earliest geological periods. As the solar system stabilized, these occurrences leveled off until the planet became geologically inactive. Its nitrogen and helium atmosphere is extremely thick due to heavy metals, making the planet's core very dense. Unfortunately, these metals are deep below the crust, making mining impractical. And Tunfigel. First charted by the Solarians, Tunfigel, the Hard, is noted for its platinum and uranium deposits, making robo-mining a lucrative activity. While the surface temperature is well within the range of a comfortable EVA excursion, the extremely dense Tunfigel generates a dangerous gravitational pull 5 times that of Earth. The Solarian miners, exploiting the planet, derisively nicknamed planets such as these Elcor tourist traps. Because only Elcor can survive on them. Okay, there's nothing on these things.
Signal confirmed.
You got yourself a planet and a hidden space station. You gotta be kidding me. And how far do we... All the way to the back of the planet. There it is. It was pointing upwards and over and around the planet. Shadow Broker Starship Tech. Yeah, what? Now I know why it sounded familiar. I think this could have been the planet, or maybe it was the one. Who knows? So, we got ourselves a decent amount of fuel. Time to get back to the first world here, isn't it? Yes. Then we can fuel up again on Osun. Not once did we trigger the rebirth. Ah, sweet. I'll just be happy that it worked this time. So, that was the Hourglass Nebula. Wait a minute, what do we got here? Kepler Verge, yeah. And then there's also the Shadow Sea. I think I'm going to scan both of those areas here. That would make the most sense, wouldn't it? And it's just one system. That's actually quite nice. The Watchman. Wonderful movie, by the way. And the series is also quite decent. So, perched on the outer edge of Iera's small solar system, Watchman is a mid-sized rock and ice planet that has picked up a dozen moon-sized objects. Its nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere is too thin to support life, with solid ice covering its calcium-heavy rocky core. The footprints of Watchman's first surveyor can still be seen on its practically airless surface. The planet, devoid of valuable resources, has seen few visitors since. Prospect. Prospect is a hydrogen-nitrogen gas giant with 13 known moons. Early scans of the moons revealed dense deposits of heavy metals, prompting a resource rush by colonists from Horizon. Unfortunately, a galactic uranium surplus drove half the mining firms out of business, and the moon's surfaces are littered with the bodies of executives who committed suicide by airlock. Today's mining corporations hold more diversified and sustainable portfolios. Prospect is within the frost line of its solar system, where ice giants do not normally form. For this reason, it is believed to have been an extrasolar capture. Venture. Oh, sweet one. Venture is a pressure cooker of a planet, but its thick nitrogen-based atmosphere is also the source of wealth for a small colonist industry. Although Venture's high temperature are brutal, the primordial soup is not as acidic as on other hothouse planets. This allows recovery bots to collect xenon from the lower tropospheres, and this xenon is then sold for use in ion drives and some electric lights. Venture's gravity is relatively low for a planet of its size, making the recovery more economical than would otherwise be expected. And all the way over here is also Horizon. Yeah, we could land on that. We're not going to read that. We're gonna read that once we land there. Anything else doesn't really make any sense. Okay, so there's nothing there. Nothing there. Yeah, there really is nothing there. Kinda sad though. Alright. It really is a pattern. Everywhere where there is a main mission, there is nothing else to scan. This was just the mass relay that triggered that sound. Still kind of weird though. You don't get 100% progress. And at some systems it just works. That's just weird. So, that was the Shadow Sea. And then there's the Kepler Verge. So, Ontarom and Yunkro. Yunkro is a hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of chlorine and sodium in its upper atmosphere. Like Uranus in the Solar System, it is tipped on its side, its north pole facing the star Newton. So Newton had something to do with these stars. Who would have thought? Clencori. Clencori is a rock and ice planet with an atmosphere composed of chlorine and argon. The frozen surface is mainly composed of potassium with deposits of iron. Clencori is famously claimed by the eccentric Volos billionaire Kubun Shoal. His once ridiculed vision of beings of light protecting organic life from synthetic machine devils don't seem quite so far-fetched now. His private army of mercenaries are well established on the planet, waiting for husks to come knocking on their door. In all likelihood, it will be obliterated by the molten metal of a Reaper orbital bombardment on its way to somewhere important. So what do we have here? Something, beings of light, once ridiculed visions of beings of light, protecting organic life from synthetic machine devil. Could there be I mean, it's a vision, sure, but could it also have been of other origins? Sesmos. Oh, that's a good one. You see the whole thing with its rings, and it doesn't just... That's nice to see sometimes. Good. And it, like, you don't zoom into so close that you only see parts of the rings. Would be nice to zoom in and out though. Sesmos is an ice dwarf world. Its surface is composed almost entirely of frozen water. Normally, a planetoid this small would not rate inclusions on the system's charts. But Sesmos' unusually large and beautiful ring of ice crystals has made it a popular subject for visual artists. This ring is the result of a glancing equatorial impact which left a large trench and threw a large amount of melted water into the atmosphere. The rings are a temporary feature that will completely decay in a few thousand years. So it's very quick. Can I scan around here? Do I get some Reapers? No. That would be a little weird. Yeah, you can't scan there. So, Ontarom. Yeah, we also can land in here. But before I want to land up here, I want to do Miranda's mission, and then I can go back to the Citadel. And then once I'm back from the Citadel, I can do this mission. Then I'm going to go back to the Citadel and whatnot. So we're going like back and forth between Citadel and missions, so that we can get different stages of progress of the crew members. So let's just read this one later on. And for now, maybe we are able to finish some of the missions up here. And I need to refuel. I didn't really do that. Right, yeah, you know what? Before we land there, let's see. Do we have some journal entries? There's the N7 communication hub. This is the other one. Cerberus has attacked the comm facility on Ontarom, landed on Ontarom, and prevent Cerberus from gaining control of a crucial access point. Then we got the Citadel here and Priority Horizon. Yeah. So that is not the thing. And planets and locations. Whoa! Look at that. Ontarom. A thing that we were just now. 16 years ago, the Systems Alliance established the first dish field on Ontarom, defying the tidal disruptions and electrical storms that periodically sweep across the planet. The facility has since grown into a crucial communications hub for the Alliance. Trade between the Alliance base and nearby human settlements sustained planetary unity The Alliance also trains and hires colonists to maintain the quantum communicators, further strengthening the bond between locals and the military forces that use the comm stations. Although most of the communications relays serve the military, a coalition of Ontarom's businesses has begun construction on a civilian broadcast hub. The local Alliance commander has offered to help of the military technical experts, making Ontarom a symbol of civilian and military cooperation. Aren't all civilians also kind of part of the military as well? Just a few steps to the side or something. Right. So, yeah, let's end it right now and continue, of course, with a little bit of Citadel stuff in Miranda in the next one. Like and subscribe and ta-ta.